Hello students, good morning. In the last lecture, I started a new topic, the Bhakti and Sufi tradition. Today I am continuing the same topic. Today we will study about the goddesses also and some other facts. Now, just let's know about the goddess. Poet saints and the followers of the poet saints were also worshipping some goddess, and every goddess was just related with some main god. For example, they were worshipping Ma Lakshmi, and they said that Lakshmi ji is the wife of Bhagwan Vishnu, and then they were worshipping Parvati, and they said that Parvati ji is the wife of Bhagwan Shiv. And at the same time, poet saints and the followers of the poet saints were also practicing tantric, and in the tantric practices they were allowing women also and shudras also. And then one more important thing was that during Vedic period we have seen that people were worshipping Agni, Indra and Soma as the gods, and they were main gods during the period of Vedic age. But in this period we have seen that there is no temple of Bhagwan Agni, Indra or Soma. There is no idol also, and no temple, no idol, no in the textual documents also there is no images or any reference of Agni, Som or Indra. Very few references have been found. So according to the historians, the importance of these Agni, Indra and Soma god just started to decline. Then Stati means Vairagya. Many followers and many saints were there. They adopted this path and they completely dedicated themselves to God. They started to live in temples, they started to pray, and they started to connect with God through the music, songs, dance, etc. And they just left all their other responsibilities and they just devoted themselves totally to God. And just like we can see कि उन्होंने समाधि धारण कर ली या वैराग्य को अडॉप्ट कर ली. Then Brahmanas remains intermediately, but in this period, that is during the period of 8th to 18th century also, Brahmanas were dominating the society. Priests were performing all the rituals and people were following the priests and Brahmanas. So Brahmanas remained intermediaries between God and human beings. Means they were there to tell the people how to connect with gods, what kind of worship they should do, what kind of rituals they should perform, what kind of things they should do to connect and to fulfill their wishes and to solve their own problems. Historians of religion, they have divided the things, that is forms of God, into two broad categories. One was Sagun and the other was Nirgun. Sagun means the God when we are having image of any God. Means जब किसी रूप या आकार में हम किसी ईश्वर की पूजा करते हैं, then that is called Sagun Upa, and the followers of these are called Sagun Upasak. And then people and the followers or the poet saints who believe in God, who worship in God, but they don't have any kind of image of any God, and they worship it without any image and without किसी आकार प्रकार रंग रूप, then that is called निर्गुण, and followers of those are called निर्गुण उपासक. Then Alvars and Nayanars of Tamil Nadu. Just let's know कि in Tamil Nadu some people were and some followers and some poet saints were called Alvars and some poet saints were called Nayanars. Then who were Alvars? Alvars were those people and followers of religious leaders who were worshipping Bhagwan Vishnu, and Nayanars were those people and followers of God who were worshipping Bhagwan Shiva. Then attitudes towards caste. Now, what was the attitude of Alvars and Nayanars for the different caste which was prevailing in the society? In Tamil Nadu also, in society different categories were there. That's we can say that as I have told you, in northern India the society was divided in 4 varnas: Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. In the same way, in the Tamil Nadu also many categories were there. But the most important thing was that these Alvars and Nayanars, they gave chance to the women also and to the Shudras also to come and worship and pray to God in the way in which they were telling. So now we can find the difference that in the period of 6th century BC to 6th century, when Brahmanas and priests were dominating the society, they did not give chance females and Shudras to study Vedas, but they have given chance to study with their religious code of conducts and religious beliefs and religious songs and poems and their own compilation to females also and to other class or caste also. In this way, they opened the door for all sections of the society. Then, similar to Vedas, then as we know that we are having the authority of Vedas, we accept it also. But there were many people in South India, that is especially in Tamil Nadu and in other parts of South India, they did not accept the authority of Vedas, and in that one were there the people who were practicing Tantric, the followers and the poet saints who were practicing Tantric, they did not give importance to Vedas. They did not follow all the rules and regulations of Vedas, and they thought that they will do and they will change the system in the society. That is why in this period religious movements and religious changes are very important, because they brought some major change in the society. They gave the chance to lower caste and untouchables also to pray God, to connect with God. That's why this is very important, and in NCERT book it has been given in detail, and in board examination also the questions from Alvars and Nayanars have been asked many times. So I think you should study, children, this in a detail. And they thought Nayanars and Alvars, they have thought that, and they have said that their compilation is more important than Vedas. they said they did not accept the authority of Vedas, and they said that their compilation, the name of their compilation is नालायरा एंड दिव्य प्रबंधन. उन्होंने कहा कि नालायरा एंड दिव्य प्रबंधन इज सिमिलर टू वेदास, सो दे डिड नॉट थॉट themselves lower than the brahmanas. And then women devotees, though the result was that कि so many women were there, they devoted themselves to God, they worshipped to God. And one example was Andal. Andal was a very famous and popular devotee, and whatever she has written, and she has whatever she has prepared songs and poems in praise of God, and whatever she sang in the praise of gods, all just give the impression, when the historians have studied, that in all the songs there is an expression of love for Bhagwan Vishnu, and she herself said that she is a beloved of Bhagwan Vishnu. And then next is Karaikal Amaya. Karaikal Amaya is also a female devotee. She said that she is a devotee of Bhagwan Shiva, and she said she is a worshipper, and she had dedicated her life for the worship of Bhagwan Shiva. So children, today we have come to know about the goddess Lakshmi and Parvati, then tantric practices, then the main gods which were prevalent during the period of Vedic age, that is Agni, Indra and Soma. Then Vedic mantras, because Vedic mantras are prevalent today also. We can see the examples of Vedic mantras. For example, Om Bhurbhuva Swa Tatsviturvardham Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. This is also a Vedic mantra which is prevalent today also. And historians have found the examples of Saguna and Nirguna Upasana. Then untouchables, main very important effect of this religious changes was that untouchables and females were also given chance to worship and to connect with God. The result was that Andal and Karaikal Amaya were two female devotees. They have left their own responsibilities, they have dedicated themselves totally to God, but they did not become nun. Just remember children, that they did not become nun, but they devoted themselves to the God. So children, today that's all for today children. Okay, bye children. In the next lecture I will tell you something more. Thank you.